Welcome to the CEO Mom Talk Show, where we spend just 20 minutes of your day discussing interesting topics from motherhood to entrepreneurship. So let's get started. Welcome back, guys. I'm so excited. I have a special guest with me here today, and I'm gonna let her, introduce herself. But I just wanted to say thank you guys because CEO Mom Talk has been growing, and lots of people have been reaching out and saying, just how great the content has been. So I want to thank you guys, the listeners, first of all. And how about this, guys? We've had this massive snow, and I have been stuck in the house for the last couple of days, and it's finally starting to melt. So I'm excited to get out. So I am going to be sharing some photos on Instagram. So definitely check that out. If you don't follow me, you can follow me at CEO Mom Blogs on Instagram. So let's dive into today's topic. So I'm going to be introducing Emma Bates, and she blogs over at Kids Cash and Chaos. And let me tell you guys, she has this amazing course that she's going to be talking about. But before we get to that, I want you guys to get a little insight on how she has grown her blog and her business. Like, she's got a business mindset, which is important over here at CEO Mom Talk because CEO moms. So let me give you guys a little let her give you guys a little introduction of herself and a little bit about what she does. So, hi, Emma.
Hi, it's so nice to be here. Thank you so much for letting me join you.
Absolutely. We are so excited. I just can't wait for everyone to hear what you have to offer. So, go ahead and share a little bit about you, about Kids Cash and Chaos, and your business and all that great stuff.
Okay, well, so my name is Emma Bates, and I have actually I've started, I think I'm up to like 5 businesses in the last 6 years. Life has been a little bit crazy, but back in 2011, I had my second child, and I started baking from home, first for my aunt and uncle who owned a cafe, and then selling it at the local farmers market, and it grew and grew, and pretty soon I was having to go to a commercial kitchen to keep up. And granola was my big product. I got it in stores and was selling it wholesale and in bulk, and it really took off, and it was great. But having kids at home and being out 2 or 3 nights a week plus every weekend got to be a little much. So I was really lucky, and I found a woman who was interested in buying the business. So I sold that, and I tried a couple of other things. I tried like an online store, and then I found out that I had thyroid cancer. And then 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. So I sort of stopped everything for a while and dealt with those things. So now I have 3 kids. The youngest is 18 months. And I've been working for the last 2 years as a virtual assistant for a few different businesses, mostly local to me, mostly small businesses, my local chamber, that type of thing. And then last year I started a blog because I felt like I had all this knowledge about how to be a small business owner and work from home while you have kids, and I wanted to start sharing it. So that's where I am today.
That is awesome, Emma. Thank you, first of all, for sharing your story with us. I think there's so much power in our stories, and they impact others so much. So, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. So, being that you have basically, created an empire, right? So, you got all these different businesses, and now you have a blog, and you're a mom of 3 kids. So tell us, what kind of tips would you have for mompreneurs or budding mompreneurs, or people who are like thinking and dreaming that, okay, I can't really start a business. How can I do that when I have kids or I have, daily responsibilities? So what kind of tips would you have for those moms out there listening?
Yeah, I mean, it is hard. It's definitely, you have to find, like I say on my blog, you have to find your passion. You have to find something that really gets you up and working. Because if you just start something you're not passionate about, you're not going to be able to sort of do it in those off hours that you don't have to be fully paying attention to your kids. Because as moms, we don't have a lot of extra free time. I mean, nap time, evenings, those are a lot of the time
Mm-hmm.
I have to get stuff done. So if it's
Right.
not something you really love doing, you're not going to do it. And then my other big tip is write everything down. If I don't get it all out of my head, it is gone within 30 seconds. So I have a planner and I have a bullet journal, and I'm seriously taking notes all day long, and I write it down, and it really helps me plan my day and my week. I write down things I need to do that day, and then if I have something that doesn't have to be done right away, I write it down on a different day so that I know it'll get done coming up.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about your bullet journaling process or your planning process? I think I'm try. Okay, so last year I had like an Erin Condren like planner, and
Hmm.
that kind of helped me out. But I'm like you, I like to note take things all throughout the day. So can you tell us a little bit about your process and how you do that?
Yeah, sure. So right now I have two planners. I have a planner from Living Well, Spending Less, Ruth Sukup. And I really like it. It has, like a monthly spread, and then it has weekly spreads that has, like at the bottom, it has a section for writing down meal planning, and it's got a place on the side to write notes, and then each day has like sort of an hourly divide, and then it has a space for you to write like the three big things you need to get done that day. So I've been using that for sort of my day-to-day calendar. And then I have a bullet journal that I use for business. So anytime I attend a webinar or take a class, I put all of my notes right in that little book. And then if I'm trying to brainstorm things, so I've got a page where I write down blog post ideas. I keep track of jobs that I need to do for my VA clients. That way, if I need to go work out of the house, I just have to grab, my computer and my two planners, and I have all of my notes in the same place.
That sounds like a much better method right there. So, I've heard about that planner by Ruth. So you really love it.
I do. This is my second year using it. Last year, I used it for a few months, and then, I had a newborn, and I was dealing with the last part of the thyroid cancer. So
Hmm.
I kind of dropped the ball on a lot of things. But this year, I started again in November, and I'm in it now, and I really like it. I really like how it's set up. It's got budget pages. It's got gratitude page for journaling things you're thankful for. So it's really got a lot of great pages that I actually use as opposed to some planners where I feel like I leave half of it blank.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Definitely got to check that one out. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of having mindset because you juggled a lot and experienced a lot. Like you said, with having cancer and other things in your life and another baby all at the
Yeah.
same time. So, what do you do to keep that mindset positive?
I think I'm pretty lucky in that I'm a pretty naturally positive person. Um, uh, you know, it's definitely been hard sometimes when you're kind of the last pregnancy. I was really
Mhm.
sick. Um,
Mhm.
I had to have my thyroid removed when I was 20 weeks pregnant, and I, was throwing up every day. I had such bad morning sickness, and I mean, by the end, I was just so tired.
Right.
But I knew that it would come to an end, and I knew the baby would come out eventually.
Right.
And then, it was just that typical newborn phase. I mean, I think part of it is that third time around, which
Yeah.
you feel, I think, a little more set in like how you do things, and it doesn't feel like such a shock to the system.
Right.
And so, I think part of it is just yeah, having a kind of a naturally positive mindset. I wish I had more tips because I know how hard it is, but I don't know.
That's totally okay. Yes, I can definitely identify with the third time around thing. There's a massive gap in between, my middle child and Aiden, but still, it's kind of like you know what to expect in a sort of way, and then you kind of have that mindset where you already kind of know, how things are going to go. So it's not as bad, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a challenge adding that third
Yes.
one in. I don't know.
Yeah,
You think?
it is. It is. Yeah, and we definitely created a typical middle child when we had the third. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're like, oh, I can totally handle this. I've already got two, and it's like, no, it's totally different when you get
Totally
three.
different. Yeah.
But I love it. Well, let me ask you this because right now, Aiden is he's 5 months, so we're doing the whole solid food thing, and
Yep.
I'm trying different products. So, like, what's your favorite product right now for either for all three of your kids or just your youngest?
Well, I don't think I could live without those baby food pouches they have now.
Oh yes.
Those are amazing because I feel like leaving the house used to be like you had to pack like all this food.
Yes.
And now I like throw two baby pouches in a bag and I'm like good to go, you know?
Right, right.
So
Yes.
those are definitely on the top of my list. My daughter is really into reading right now, so we have been taking so many books out of the library, and that's been
Hmm.
really fun. I love to see that. She's 7, and I feel like maybe going on 13, but
Yeah, yes,
it's
exactly.
really fun to see them sort of growing up and finding their own things. And so yeah, I mean we've just been busy, and they got some things for Christmas that they love.
Right.
Um, but I really think like keeping them busy with things like books and board games has been really fun recently. Our sort of new thing.
That's awesome. My daughter, she's 7 too, and she
Mm.
loves to watch those little. I don't know. YouTube has some weird stuff on it. I'm just gonna tell
Yes.
you guys, but there's these dolls, like they're kids playing with toys, and all you see are the toys in their hands. I don't know. It's weird.
We have not gotten to those. I don't know if I want to start that.
No, they're so weird, but she loves it. It's weird. Awesome, Emma. So let's talk about your course. Can you tell us a little bit about, what it's going to involve, who is it for, what the purpose is, and what people should expect from it?
Yeah, so my course is called Mompreneur in the Making, and I try to sort of put down everything that I wish I had known at the beginning of starting a small business. So the first section covers branding. I tried to make it so that you, as the student, could do everything yourself, so that you're not trying to find somebody to, make your logo, make your graphics, because I know so many people want to bootstrap in the beginning and just do everything they possibly can by themselves. So we go over how to create sort of your brand look, how to choose colors, how to create your own logo. And, this might be stuff you use for the first year or two and then have a professional do a more refined logo. But, if you can do your own logo for that first year, that's saving you some money. So we go over all of that, and then in the second section, I teach you everything you need to do to start your Weebly website, an about page, contact page, and then how to create a web store so that you can sell a product right from your website. Weebly has a lot of really great integrations now. They can integrate with like UPS and FedEx. They can integrate with PayPal and Stripe. So you really can bring everything into one place. And then Weebly also has started doing, which I think is genius of them, email marketing through your website. So if you sign up with them and have your website through them, your email marketing is all completely built in. So when somebody buys something, they're added to your email list, or they can sign up and just be added to your email list. And then you can email people based on whether they've bought from you, whether they haven't bought from you. You can send out coupons to your, loyal customers. It makes it really easy to navigate and keep in touch with all of those people that you want to be in touch with on a regular basis. So once you have that all set up, the third section is all about marketing. So I talk a lot about things like setting up wholesale accounts with potential customers and dealing with online marketing, creating maybe your Pinterest account, your Facebook business page. I go through sort of all the top 6 social media, and then I tell you which ones I think would be beneficial for small business, and walk you through how to set those all up and how to schedule so that you don't have to be on the computer, 24/7. You can schedule things out. So, and then I think I'm going to be adding a few bonuses. I'm really hoping to get some special ones, but they are not all set up yet. But if your readers want more information, if they just go to my website, kidscashandchaos.com, they can click, there's a banner right on the top. They can click on it and they can read all of the information all about it.
Awesome. This sounds like an epic course. You're basically helping them start a business from scratch.
Yeah.
That's great. Mompreneur in the Making sounds like an awesome course. So definitely, I will be linking Emma's information in the show notes, so you can definitely connect with her there. So before we go, Emma, always like to ask my guests, how do you balance business and being a mom? I think that's always great to have in there because we're portraying that we've got it all together, but a lot of times we don't. We're trying to learn ourselves. So, what are you doing to help you in your journey as an entrepreneur and as a mom?
I think the biggest lesson I have learned is to ask for help. I am really lucky to live close to a lot of family. So I have a cousin who watches my toddler once a week for like 3 hours. And then I've set up with a friend to do some babysitting trading. And then I've asked my husband. He's taken over the duties of putting the kids to bed. He does all three of them because he's pretty amazing. And he puts them all to bed every night so that I have the like 2 or 3 hours after dinner where I can work. I think that as moms, we are kind of expected to do it all, but we can't. And we need to let go and ask for help.
Exactly. I love that. And that's awesome. Your husband, if he's listening, go you. Get all three kids to bed.
Yeah, he's amazing.
That is great. Thank you so much for that, Emma. And I want to say thank you for being a part of today's show. I look forward to other collaborations in the future as well. Thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Emma, can you share with us any particular places where we can connect with you, or like, are you more on Twitter or more on Instagram? Like, where can we connect with you?
I'm actually just kind of really getting going on Instagram, so I'd love to connect with more people. And I am Kids Cash Chaos at Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate you being a part of today's show again.
Thank you so much. This was great.
You're welcome. All right, guys, and I'll see you guys all on the next show.